Hi, and welcome back to my channel, My Tax Guy. And today we're going to talk about getting ready for the 2022 filing season. Now, guys, as you already know, this year has been very up and down tax-wise. There are a lot of things that are happening and that are going to happen, and really this is the time to get ready for the season that is upcoming. There are some challenges that are currently in the way. There are some bills that are still on the table of Congress. We're going to go over a couple of things that'll help you get through this season a little bit easier. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Now, the first thing I'd like to tell everyone is that the tax season can be very hectic. You're trying to work. You're trying to figure out, oh my God, how am I going to get this done? I have to do everything by April 15th or 18th or 17th. I haven't looked at the calendar yet, but it's probably going to be the 15th. As long as there's no weekend in the way. Anyway, so we're all like, hey, we got to get this done as quickly as we possibly can. And how are we going to do it? One of the things with the upcoming tax season that really has been taking place since the pandemic started is all of the remote filing. You know, to have a tax professional be able to just say, hey, send me your docs. We can have a teleconference and talk about what we're going to do for you for the filing season, what we're going to need, having that open communication so that it's much easier for you to get a sense of relief and also understand what's going on throughout the entire process of your filing. So all of the remote conferencing technology really stepped up with Zoom. I know my kids have Ring Central, things like that. Even Google and Microsoft have really went to town on their video conferencing software to make it much easier to use. So it's almost impossible not to have that open communication or even have a real face-to-face so you can really talk to your preparer, almost like having them in the living room. I know the comfort of the human body being there is for some people is more important, but just to be able to see their face and talk to them hopefully gives you a sense of relief that you have a real partner in getting through the filing season. One of the things I have to really stress to people is that even though it is now early, you really need to make sure, and at the very top of my list is the documents or vital records for you and any dependents or spouse or whoever is going to be in the tax return. You need to make sure that you have all of those things. Even if you're self-preparing, I can't say yay or nay to that, but no matter what happens, you need to have those documents. During the course of the pandemic at its height, one of the things that we discovered was that a lot of people did not have their own kids' birth certificates, social security cards. Couples didn't have their marriage license. It was really amazing to see how much stuff that people were like, I lost or I moved and I don't know what happened to it. Just a lack of for lack of a better word, just sort of just carefree carelessness with their own family's documents. And it's really amazing that feeling that, hey, this can just be taken care of, I don't need to worry about it, is one of those things that's like, oh my God, am I gonna really have to go through the hassle of like looking and even worst case scenario, purchasing the stuff that I need to have for my tax return? Now, in some cases, you may a quick look, you may find, you may not find. What I would tell people is the best thing to do is to look now. Do not wait until next year. Now's the time to look. You need to start getting those things together, because if you need to order them or if you need to actually go down and make an appointment, depending on what state you're in, you may have to make an appointment to go down to whatever department has your vital records so that you can actually go down there and get the documents that you need. Again, to me, waiting is like the worst thing. The time is now. The last 3 months of the year should really be making sure that you have all the stuff you need that has nothing to do with like your W-2s, your 1099s, or any other tax form that you may have. What you really want to make sure is that all your other things are in place. You have ID. Guess what? Your ID may even be expired. And here's the problem. If you have ID that's expired and you go to your local tax preparer, they're going to say, hey, last year you was here, the ID you had is expired, you have new ID. Now, is it the biggest thing in the world for us not to have the ID that's valid? Really and truly, not really. Not the biggest thing in the world. But what I will tell you is, depending on what state you're in, and as you guys already know, I live in New York, it could be a real problem. Because New York will delay your return if you don't have proper ID. Not saying that they do it every time, but one of those things on the 8453 that you sign with your tax preparer for your state filing, part of that is acknowledging the fact that you may experience a delay until they can verify who you are, because your ID, your license or your state ID is not in the return. I think Connecticut is about to also start doing that, so don't quote me on that. I think Connecticut is also leaning towards that, because there's so much fraud and everything going on. It's very hard to say, hey, we know who this person is, and they're identifying who they are and everything is okay. I can't, as a preparer, take a new client on and just trust that person is telling me that they are who they say they are just because they're saying it to me. I need identification, and I need valid identification. I can't take anything that's expired, nor will I, to put it out there. It's just not a good idea. So it's really important that you focus and get those IDs. Get everything that you need so that you're already having stuff in place. Second thing I would tell you to do is have a plan in place for your money. It is very amazing that a lot of people will come with their preparer and says, hey, this is the biggest refund I ever got. Where do I go from here? Now, some preparers are also versed in other areas like finance. Some of them may even be loan officers, or they may be insurance brokers and things like that. A lot of preparers are usually multifaceted and have a plethora of different kinds of financial experience. And depending on what kind of licensing and schooling and things that they have, they really be able to help you. But have an idea to say, hey, what we're going to do with our refund this year. It's not, again, the biggest thing in the world, but it's really important that you make that a focal point of what do you plan on doing with your money. You can talk to your preparer. Heck, you can talk to your banker. You can talk to a friend that's well versed. But have an idea, have a plan, have a goal. It's more important to plan for it than to not plan for it. One of the other things that we also discovered during these many years preparing taxes is that a lot of people do not understand the importance of the dates of having your documents by. Now, you need to make sure that when December comes, your absolutely last paycheck that you get for the month, and by month I mean before December 31st, that last pay stub is your friend. Hold on to that pay document for your dear life, and I'm going to tell you why. There have been issues before where just the federal and states have required a person to verify their income, and the W-2 that you use is not enough. Sometimes they want a letter from the employer, but more often than not, they want another document that verifies what's on your W-2. So in case anything goes wrong, you want to make sure you have that last pay stub. Trust me, it is a lifesaver. I cannot tell you how many times that I've had people who had that exact problem and it got resolved very quickly simply by faxing over that one pay stub. So you have all your pay stubs throughout the year. You're really supposed to keep them for 3-4 years. But that last pay stub is the most important one. So make sure if you have it at work, download it and print it out. Do what you have to do. Make sure you have a physical copy of that thing. Yes, I know the world is digital. Digital copies are good too. But again, with digital, if you download it somewhere, you don't have access to it, what good is it for you? And that goes to my last point. As you're getting these documents and all these other things together and your plan and the last pay stub and stuff like that, the last thing I'll tell you is get something to secure your vital documents. Your records of your tax returns and everything should already be in a safely stored place. I recommend one of the fireproof lock boxes. They cost anywhere between $15 to $40. A really great one, maybe like $200-300. But really and truly, you don't have to spend that level of cash. You just need to understand the importance of having something where you're securing your documents. So get one of those boxes. Put your vital documents in it. I really think something's going to happen? Hopefully not. But I'm not a person to tell someone that hope is what they need when it's time for them to handle business. I don't deal in hope. I will tell you it's better to be prepared. And the best way to be prepared with your vital documents, your old tax returns, the W-2 that I meant, your W-2s, the pay stubs, all of that stuff needs to be put in a folder and needs to be placed inside of that lockbox. And you can put it almost anywhere in your house. Heck, they even have ones you can actually drill into your floor, and it ain't going nowhere. So those are the kind of things where I would say you need to take a little bit of initiative, maybe even take a little bit of time and get those matters settled. That way you have a very easy tax season. Because as I tell a lot of people, the easier the tax season is for you, the better it is for you. So you can address some of the concerns now. You don't have to worry about going to your tax preparer unprepared or without the documents you need to file a proper return. I want to thank everybody for coming in today. I'm glad that you guys are sharing my videos and liking and subscribing, but please continue to do so. I am aiming for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I am looking forward to seeing everybody this coming tax season, and thank you and have a good day. I'll see you out there. Take care.